Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just dusting off some old history book about the Constitutional Convention. We're actually diving into it as the setting for one of America's oldest, most thrilling, and honestly, most baffling unsolved political mysteries. We're going to explore the legend of the vanished Mandate of Philadelphia.
To really get this, we've got to travel back to 1787. Now, the Revolutionary War is over, and the colonies have officially won their freedom from Britain. But contrary to what you might think, things were definitely not going perfectly. America was incredibly young, and it was struggling. The new government under the Articles of Confederation was fundamentally weak, it was completely broke, and the future? Dangerously uncertain. Survival was absolutely not guaranteed. And it's under this immense pressure that, behind closed doors in Philadelphia, some of America's most powerful men began meeting in complete and utter secrecy. Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, The Secret in Philadelphia. This wasn't just some casual get-together. This was the monumental event where the nation's most influential figures were actively deciding the ultimate fate of the country. And man, it was shrouded in extreme paranoia. The building was completely locked down, the windows were kept firmly closed, which, by the way, is absolutely staggering when you consider they were doing this in the sweltering, oppressive heat of a Philadelphia summer. Guards were posted right outside the doors, absolutely no reporters were allowed anywhere near the premises, and no public records of the daily proceedings were released to the masses. It was literally a true locked room scenario. So for months, these delegates are just toiling away in this absolute suffocating secrecy. And it's precisely this unprecedented historical blackout that laid the perfect groundwork for a really strange, captivating legend. A legend that has stubbornly survived for more than 2 centuries. The story of a highly sensitive, completely missing letter. Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. The Midnight Messenger. All right, this brings us to the inciting incident of our true crime historical arc. According to the legend, one evening, a messenger suddenly arrives carrying a sealed document addressed to one of the convention delegates, though mysteriously, no one knows exactly who. The delegate gets it, breaks the seal and reads it, and immediately, upon reading the contents, an urgent private meeting is requested. We have 0 official notes surviving that describe what happened in that impromptu meeting, but the next morning, witnesses recall this intense, unusual tension inside the convention hall, and delegates are seen actively arguing. And the letter? It completely vanishes. Which really forces us to ask the ultimate question here. What on earth was inside that sealed document? I mean, what kind of information could possibly be so explosive that it would cause sudden, unrecorded tension and furious morning arguments among the very men drafting the future of the country? That brings us to Section 3, Spies, Rivals, and Theories. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that nature abhors a vacuum, right? Because there were no public records, in the years following the convention, rumors just spread like wildfire to fill the void. If we look at these theories like suspects in a lineup, you can see the stakes were incredibly high. The rumors claim the letter could have been a dire warning of a foreign plot against the young republic, or maybe it exposed British agents actively operating inside America to sabotage the new government. Others firmly believed it contained damning information about political rivals trying to illicitly influence the convention's outcome, or, the grandest theory of them all, that it revealed a secret so profound it could have changed the entire course of American history. Moving straight on to Section 4, the missing evidence. Okay, those are thrilling, blockbuster-level theories for sure. But as an explainer, we really have to look for the cold, hard proof. So we've got to put on our skeptical investigator hats and ask, was there really a secret message? Did someone intentionally destroy it to protect the young nation? Or was this entire story just invented whole cloth years later by people with really vivid imaginations?
So the crucial point is this stark difference between the legend and the historical record. The legend gives us widespread rumors, mysterious late-night messengers, and vanished documents. It sounds like a movie. But the historical record, it gives us absolute silence. Nobody could produce the letter. No archive anywhere contains it. No official government record mentions it, and no delegate ever publicly discussed it. There is literally not a single trace of it in the physical evidence.
Because of this glaring lack of evidence, historians today generally believe the story is far more legend than fact. The professional consensus leans heavily toward the idea that the letter never even existed. And yet, despite all the experts doubting it, the mystery simply refuses to disappear from the American historical consciousness.
So why does it survive? Well, because the convention itself was the absolute perfect environment for legends to grow.
That extraordinary secrecy we talked about at the beginning, the locked doors, the closed windows, that was very real, and it was heavily documented. Many incredibly important discussions truly did remain private. And we know for a fact that some official records were intentionally hidden away for decades after the convention ended. That intense, factual secrecy is exactly what gave birth to and continually sustains the myth of the missing letter. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, an enduring American mystery. You see, this has become one of Philadelphia's most fascinating political mysteries. Not necessarily because of what might have been in the letter, but because it takes place at the very birth of America itself. It reminds us of a time when the nation's future was anything but guaranteed, a time when every single decision mattered immensely, and when a single secret truly could have changed the entire trajectory of history. More than 200 years later, the Constitution still exists, and the United States still exists. The delegates succeeded in that locked room. But the legend lingers. And it leaves us with one final, haunting thought to take away from this explainer. If the legend is true, and somewhere in history a message really did disappear, what secret was America never meant to know?